Hello, we're back, and we're gonna do some more gold. What I've got here, let me show you. We've got a circuit board, super thick. So I got to get this thing cut into strips so that I can get it into the beaker, and I'm gonna have to do that with this. Yeah, it'll do it. And we'll cut that up. Got a couple cell phones. I'm gonna have to depopulate the chips off. We'll use the air hammer for that. And then we've got two of these bad boys. We've got gold plated pins, some gold plating on the back. We'll cut this into strips too. I think I can use my metal cutters, my hand cutters for that. That's what we got. Next gold project. Probably not a lot of gold there. Yeah, not a lot. We'll see what we get. I'm not even gonna guess. All right, let's get going. Hey, it's been more than 24 hours since the first, what you might say is a half nitric bowl. I didn't put a whole lot in it because we're taking this nice and slow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour these off. I'm gonna get them. I guess I'm gonna put them in my silver jar. Well, for some reason I don't want to, but that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know why. A lot of chloride of some kind coming off there. I guess it's probably a lot of, I don't know, a lot of tin, maybe lead. I don't know what it is. Oh, this one's really dirty. Produce a lot of waste when you do this stuff. Be ready, be prepared for all the waste. And look, now my jar's full. Oh, okay. But now I can get some more nitric in these, which is what we want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use up the rest of my dilute nitric with copper in it. And we'll just pour that one in there. There, like that. Pour that one in there. And voila, nice. Now that's empty. I've been waiting to empty that sucker. Okay, and then we'll get some heat going. I'm gonna get them good and hot. And it's late, it's like 8 o'clock. I just got home from work, but I'm gonna let these get hot. Get that acid activated in there, and then I'll turn them off, and we'll just let them sit another 24 hours. We'll keep doing this throughout the week. Cooking and stirring. Cooking and stirring. Alright, see y'all tomorrow. Just in case anybody was wondering, and if you weren't, I'm going to show you anyway. There's our silver container. There's no longer silver in there because it's in here. And majority of the waste water is put into my my stock pot. We'll call that a stock pot bucket. And this is the silver rinses. So I'm gonna have pure silver now. Now I'm not gonna get it all out with that. That's a lot. If you see that we're at 2,000 mil just in the rinse water, getting that out. There's our gold. The gold is still cooking. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think that? That's gold, baby. So we're going. Let's turn our pump on. And you can see there's our silver. That's high quality silver right there. But I would not sell that. That's got to be refined again. All my silver gets refined, and we get a high purity silver. That's the way I've been taught by the channel I watch, which I'll share with you at a later time. But here we go. So this has probably had about 5 or 6 rinses. It's had about a 2,000 ml beaker of boiling water rinse through it. So I'm gonna keep that vacuum on there, and we're gonna get that vacuum down good and dry. Well, dry, semi-dry. At least get the majority of this out. We'll get this into the waste bucket, stock pot, sorry. And then we'll be set up to start moving this. This has to go over to here, so I can move this liquid back into here. And I had to get this out, so I could get that in there. And then this is going to build up so much waste so fast that I need to get into here, which is going to have to go outside. Yeah, anyway, just so you know, if you're going to be doing these refinings, it produces a lot of waste. So be prepared for that, and be prepared to deal with it the right way. You don't just dump it right back into the ground. It needs to be treated all the way back to pure water. All right. See you later. Okay, it's now Wednesday. When did we start this? Sunday. Here's my 2 beakers with my boards in them. And I got that one on high heat, only half the jar full. I had to get it cooking in there because it's just taking too long. This one still got lots of gold left on there. It's gonna take a while. It's probably gonna be a 2-week deal. And I'm out of room. I'm full there. I'm full everywhere, so yeah. Oh, by the way, there's 20 grams of gold. Okay, but I'm full on all my liquids, so I had to get me a couple of storage bins for my excess nitric, dilute nitric, and those will fill up like so fast you won't know what to do, and then I'll be on to a bucket. But that's what I'm saying, lots of waste, but that's okay. We'll treat it, we'll get it out of here. All right, that's where we're at in this one. Oh yeah, baby. We'll stay tuned on that. That's 20 grams of gold. It was listed as carat, 14 carat, 20 grams, but the marking on it is gold filled, and it feels really weird. It's like super light. I was like, nah, this is not good. I got ripped off, but it is not dissolving. I got a good bit of acid in there, so until that acid eats through that whatever, I mean, that's a good sign right there. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep pouring to it, acid. We'll see what we get out of that. 20 grams. I need it. I need everything I can get out of that to get some money back. I'm gonna sell that one. That's going to Texas, to the refiner. I'm gonna get my money back on that. Okay, there we are. Stay tuned. All right, it's Sunday, 4 o'clock. It's been a week. That's what we're down to. If you remember our computer scrap, we had boards. We had two 2,000 mil beakers full of computer scrap. Not computer, circuit boards. That's what we're down to. We've dwindled it down to that, and I'm still putting the nitric to it. We're still getting fumes. I'm going to keep going until I get that, as much of that garbage melted off and rinsed off as possible. Here's our 20 karat whatever. This 20 karat bracelet was listed as 14 karat gold. 20, I'm sorry. Let me back up. This 20 gram bracelet was listed as 14 karat gold. When I got it, it's got a gold filled stamp on it. And it felt, I don't know, it felt light. But I'm telling you, I can't get that to melt in nitric. I mean, very slowly. You see the blue in there? We are getting base metals out, but it is taking a long time. That's probably going to be enough throughout next week. Plus, making sure I want to get as much of the base metal, all of it. I want to get this to where all I got is gold foil and no fumes. It's going to be another week. This is going to be a 2-week deal. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and did I mention all the waste? Yeah. Did I? Yeah. Waste. All dilute nitric. There's probably silver. There's silver in. There's a little bit of silver in this. Mostly garbage. Tin, nickel, lead. There's more waste. I just keep adding waste because every time I go to rinse this, I end up with more waste. But whatever. It'll be worth it. We'll get some gold out of there. I'm ready to put something in there to melt some more, burn off the excess nitric in the silver jar. There's silver that we've got plated out. It's just, we're rocking and rolling. All right. Well, this is the end of this for this week. See you next week. Still melting the base metals out of our bracelet. That's a nitric bath. And we are now going into Aqua Regia with our computer scrap. It's been a long time, but we're getting there. Our bracelet. This bracelet has been through many nitric boils, and we still are getting some blue out of that. It's getting lighter, but I'm going to continue to do nitric boils, and I want to do it until I get that. I need to get that blue out. So once we get a clear nitric boil, then we'll go to Aqua Regia. But our computer scrap is in solution, Aqua Regia, and ready to be precipitated. Here's our bracelet. Nitric bath, I don't know how many. There's been a ton for a long time now. We're getting close. If it stays this clear, I'm gonna let it sit and boil off for a couple hours. And if it stays this clear, I'll probably go to Aqua Regia with that. And then here's our computer scrap. It's already precipitated. What I'm doing there is I'm just boiling off some excess SMB, sodium metabisulfite. It's boiling off there. I could go ahead and rinse that. I'm just going to let it boil. Main reason I did that is because I had a lot of gold floating, so I put it on a boil. Now everything's dropped. That is our computer scrap, gold. It's not much. Not much at all. I don't know. I'm thinking about adding it to our bracelet gold and just melting it all at one time. I sure would like to get a weight on it, but you know, I can't imagine. A gram? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we'll go ahead and melt it. Let's see. Well, that didn't work. that's hot. There it is. Man, it wasn't even worth looking at. Okay. Here's our gold bracelet. That came out much nicer, but it's not a whole lot of gold. A lot more gold in there than there was in that huge trap. For sure. Looks better too. I don't know if this little torch is going to do it. I might be out of gas. Hey. Hey, man. All right. What? Oh. Yep. Yep, we can do it. They're a little pricey, man. Yep. They might not come up with it. Yeah, I have to. just not gonna work. There's our little computer scrap button. That's pathetic. And there's our bracelet nugget. It really came out pretty cool. I didn't plan on that. But I had problems with my my heat, getting the torch, changing the torch tip. I mean, it's got to be redone, obviously. But it's cool looking. I like having something different. Yeah. Huh. You could almost find, almost looks like a little animal if it wasn't for the hole in the middle of it. Well, let's see what we got. This little computer button, we'll say 0.3. Oh, wow. But that's ridiculous. Okay. I'll probably never do another piece of computer scrap. And what do we got here? I'm not even going to guess. Hey. Wow. 10.6. That's what I wanted. And really, that's kind of what I plan to get out of that that bracelet. But the way, well, I didn't do it right. I didn't incord it. I tried to melt that bracelet down with just nitric baths. And let me tell you, that doesn't work. This was, what was it? 14 karat? Yeah, 14 karat gold bracelet. I forget what was the weight on it, like 22 grams, 20, I mean it's 10, I got 10 grams out of it. So I think it was 20 something grams. And yeah, I didn't incord it. It didn't look, you know, the band said gold filled, and I'm sure there's some impurity in here. It needs to be redone, but it's pretty darn close. So, well, that's great. My battery's dying. You know, if the phone's not dying, the camera's dying. If the camera's not dying, the phone's dying. Ah, anyway. So, there we go. I got what I wanted out of that. I darn sure didn't get what I wanted out of that little joker, but it is gold. So, you know, computer scrap, you know you're not going to get what you wanted out of it. But anyway, there's that refining. That only took forever and a day. I had a lot going on past couple months. So that project went on and on and on. So anyway, right now I got more silver coming out, precipitating. I'm going to do a large batch of silver at one time, and we'll melt that up, put that in the little electric crucible, and we'll get all that melted and see how much weight we get out of that. And I've still got, I've got some karat gold that I need to do. This is small. It's not a whole lot, but it'll be so nice to do that karat gold instead of all this, oh my gosh, all this mess that just takes so long and makes so much waste. But that's coming up next. So we'll see you then. Bye.